Have you seen Johnny Depp's latest photo? Fans can't stop talking about it, and not for the usual reasons. Something about that picture has everyone wondering if there's more going on beneath the surface. He's not on stage, not promoting a movie, not surrounded by lights or cameras, just sitting quietly with a faraway look in his eyes. It's peaceful, yes, but also a little unsettling. People are asking, is he okay? Is something wrong? And others say, maybe he's just finally resting. So what's really happening with Johnny Depp? Is this the calm before another storm, or just a moment of peace for one of Hollywood's most misunderstood stars? Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into the story behind that photo, and what it might really mean. If you've ever admired Johnny for his talent, his mystery, or just his resilience, this one's going to hit close to home. We'll look at the clues in that photo, the reactions from fans, and what people close to him are saying about this new chapter in his life. So grab a cup of coffee, get comfortable, and let's talk about Johnny Depp, the man behind the myth, the artist behind the storm. Let's start from the moment the photo appeared. It wasn't posted with any flashy caption. There was no "coming soon" or "new project alert." Just Johnny, sitting quietly, guitar by his side, his face calm but thoughtful, like he's lost in a memory. And immediately, the internet exploded. Comments poured in from fans around the world. Some said, he looks exhausted. Others said, he seems distant, and many wrote, this doesn't look like the same Johnny we're used to. Now, to be fair, Johnny's always had that mysterious energy about him. He's never been the type to smile for the cameras or play the Hollywood game. But this felt different. It wasn't just the lighting or the pose, it was the mood. It's the kind of picture that makes you stop scrolling and think, what's going on here? And that's when the theories started. Some fans believed he might be going through a hard time again. Others thought it was burnout, that after years of non-stop work, travel, and public scrutiny, maybe he's just worn out. But then there's another group who thinks this might be something else, a sign that something big is about to happen. Because if you've followed Johnny's career closely, you've probably noticed a pattern. Every time he disappears, every time he goes quiet and people start to worry, he comes back with something incredible. It's almost like he needs that silence to recharge, to reinvent himself. So, could this photo be another one of those moments? Could this be the calm before another creative storm? Let's talk about why people are worried first. Johnny Depp has always had a strong, loyal fan base, people who've stuck by him through thick and thin. They've seen him in his best times, winning awards, touring with his band, and charming audiences with every character he plays. But they've also seen him in some of his darkest moments, from public court battles to personal struggles that played out under a harsh spotlight. And lately, fans say they can sense a change. His energy seems softer, quieter, almost fragile. The man who used to walk into a room with a wild sparkle in his eyes now seems tired. It's not sadness exactly, more like deep reflection. And when you've watched someone for so many years, you can feel that shift instantly. Maybe it's the years of pressure. Maybe it's the toll of fame. Or maybe, just maybe, it's the sign of someone who's finally slowing down, taking a breath, and reevaluating his life. After all, Johnny's been in this industry for decades. He's seen everything, the highs, the heartbreaks, the fame, the loss, the constant spotlight. And after so long, it makes sense to take a step back. People close to him have hinted that he's been spending time reflecting on his career and focusing more on personal healing. He's said to be rethinking what he wants to do next, which projects to take on, where to live, who to trust, and how to stay true to himself. So when you look at that photo again, the quiet one that started all this, maybe it's not a warning sign. Maybe it's just a moment of peace. A rare look at the man behind the legend. But still, the internet loves a mystery. And the phrase, the calm before the storm, has started to pop up everywhere. It's dramatic, yes, but it fits, doesn't it? Johnny Depp's life has always been filled with waves. One moment, calm waters. The next, a storm of headlines, rumors, and chaos. But somehow, he always comes out of it, maybe bruised, maybe changed, but still standing. And this photo feels like that moment right before the next wave. What if he's quietly preparing for something big? What if this silence isn't a sign of retreat, but a sign of creation? Insiders in the industry, people who've worked with him for years, say that this might be the case. They've seen him do this before. They say Johnny always disappears right before something major. Before his last big project, he went completely off the grid. No interviews, no appearances, no social media, just gone. And then suddenly, he came back with a performance that reminded everyone why he's one of the most talented actors alive. It's his way of working: retreat, reflect, then return with something powerful. One longtime collaborator once said, "Johnny's storms always come after the silence." It's how he creates. And honestly, that line says everything. Maybe the world sees stillness as something scary. But for artists like Johnny, that stillness is where the magic happens. He's not the type to chase fame anymore. He doesn't need to. He's already proved himself 1,000 times over. Now, it seems he's more interested in depth, in creating things that mean something. So while fans worry that his quietness means something's wrong, maybe it's actually the opposite. Maybe it means he's finally found some peace, or he's preparing for his next transformation. Because if there's one thing we know about Johnny Depp, it's that he's unpredictable. He's not just an actor or a musician, he's a storyteller. And storytellers don't disappear for no reason. Every pause, every silence, every picture, it all says something. Now, it's also worth remembering that fame can distort our view of people. When you're in the spotlight, every expression, every outfit, every social post becomes a headline. And Johnny has lived under that microscope for decades. Sometimes, we see a single moment, like that one photo, and assume it defines the whole story. But maybe, he's just having a quiet day. We've all had those days, right? Days where we sit in silence, lost in thought, maybe a little tired but at peace. We don't want to explain ourselves. We just want to exist. Maybe that's all this is. But because it's Johnny Depp, it becomes something bigger, something fans can't stop analyzing. And that's understandable. He means a lot to people. To his fans, he's not just a celebrity. He's a symbol of creativity, rebellion, and resilience. Someone who's been knocked down again and again but always gets back up. So when people see him quiet, they feel concerned, because they care. And that's kind of beautiful, isn't it? Still, it's worth remembering that quiet doesn't always mean trouble. Sometimes, silence means healing. It means growth. It means transformation. Maybe Johnny's not lost, maybe he's just becoming someone new. People around him say he's been spending more time in Europe lately, away from the noise of Hollywood. He's focusing on his music, on painting, and on surrounding himself with calm, creative energy. It's almost poetic. The man who spent years living in chaos is now finding beauty in stillness. And yet, that phrase, the calm before the storm, keeps coming up. Maybe that's because we know Johnny. Every time things go quiet, something incredible usually follows. That's what makes his story so fascinating. He's unpredictable, mysterious, and real, in a world that often feels staged. One day he's on stage performing with his guitar, the next he's painting in silence, and the next he's making headlines for something completely unexpected. It's that contrast, between the storm and the silence, that defines him. And maybe that's why we're drawn to him. Because in a way, he represents all of us. The side of us that's strong, but tired. Creative, but misunderstood. Still healing, but always ready to rise again. Now, here's an interesting thought. What if this calm version of Johnny isn't the before part of a storm at all? What if it's the after? What if he's already weathered his worst storms, the battles, the heartbreak, the public chaos, and what we're seeing now is the peace that follows? That would change everything, wouldn't it? Because instead of worrying, we could actually celebrate that photo, as a symbol of strength and survival. He's been through enough to earn that peace. Still, fans can't help but speculate, it's part of the fascination. The truth is, none of us really know what's next for Johnny Depp. Maybe he's planning a comeback. Maybe he's working on new music. Maybe he's just taking a long, quiet breath. Whatever it is, one thing's for sure, when Johnny goes silent, something interesting is always on the horizon. And that's the beauty of his story. He doesn't follow trends. He doesn't rush. He doesn't explain himself. He lets the art speak when it's ready. And maybe that's the lesson for all of us too, that sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is just pause. Take a breath. Reflect. And trust that the next chapter will come when it's meant to. So now, I want to ask you, what do you think? Is Johnny Depp just taking a well-deserved break, or do you feel something big is brewing behind the scenes? Let me know in the comments, I read every one of them, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you enjoyed this little deep dive, you might want to check out our next video, the hidden meaning behind Johnny Depp's tattoos, what they say about his life. It's a fascinating look into the stories etched on his skin, and trust me, some of them will surprise you. And hey, if you love videos like this, thoughtful, curious, a little mysterious, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Because around here, we don't just talk about celebrities, we explore the meaning behind the moments. Thanks for watching. And remember, sometimes, the calmest seas hide the biggest waves.